talk all about Kendrick Lamar's Human Design. And so we all know Kendrick Lamar, the GOAT, the quickest diss dropper ever in history. We know who he is, and let's take a look at his energy, his aura, aka his human design. And if you don't know what human design is like your birth chart on steroids if you're into astrology. It's the best self-discovery tool in my opinion. And if you're on an intentional path, or you're tired of feeling lost or misunderstood in life, or you're tired of feeling unseen or undervalued in your relationships, or you just want to understand yourself on like the deepest levels, human design is the perfect tool for you for self-awareness. So go to my website, sabledanielle.com/getmychart to get your energy and to download your free guide with journal prompts and affirmations to get you started on your human design journey. So let's get into Kendrick. He is a manifesting generator. So manifesting generators are the multitaskers of the energy types. They move fast. They are meant to find shortcuts. They may seem impulsive and chaotic because they try a lot of things. They may jump from thing to thing. They may stick with one thing for a minute and then jump to the next. And like somebody that's not a manifesting generator isn't going to understand that, and they're going to be like, he's a little chaotic. He's a little impulsive. He doesn't finish what he starts, and that's okay because manifesting generators are not meant to always finish what they start. Once they are started on a project that they are committed to, they will absolutely finish it. But once it's no longer in alignment with them and they have nothing else to learn from it, it's no longer like good for their path or their happiness, then they're going to let that go to move on to the next. And that's fine. We should all learn from manifesting generators in that way to like let go sometimes. But that's good for them because they learn, and then that helps them to be able to create shortcuts for the rest of us, because that's part of their role as a manifesting generator. Manifesting generators also have a very like energizing, bright, welcoming aura, and I think that you can say that about Kendrick Lamar, especially through his music. And Not Like Us, like the whole world is captivated by that song, and that's partly because his energy is in it, is all throughout the song. And being a multitasker, quick worker, fast moving, manifesting generator, this is why he was able to put out diss after diss after diss after diss when it was with him and Drake, when it was going down like crazy. It seems crazy from the outside looking in, but if he works fast and he can work on multiple projects at once, and he can exhaust his energy all day long without like being tired, as long as it makes him feel good and it's aligned and it's fueling his soul, which creating music fuels his soul, and then you're creating music against somebody that you don't like, so I'm sure that fuels you in some type of way. He was able to just like crank that shit out like the Energizer Bunny and just create, drop. He was ready to just give us everything in that moment. Whereas Drake, like, he's a generator. And so although generators and manifesting generators work very similarly, generators can only work on one thing at once. They're meant to be tunnel vision on one thing. Where manifesting generators, like I said, they're the multitaskers. They are great at working on multiple things at once. So Drake can only work on his one diss track at a time, and work on that and then drop that, and then we'll see what he does. Work on that, drop that, we'll see what he does. Work on that, drop that, we'll see what he does. Well, that's not how Kendrick works. Kendrick is like, I'm in the zone, I'm in the mood, let's get this shit done. He said this, let's get this out, we're gonna work on that, we're gonna get this out. So that it was like the matchup of energies in that moment was just not aligned, and nobody was ready. Drake wasn't ready, collectively we weren't ready, we were just like mind blown. So Drake, like I said, was just energetically not ready and not a good match for that specific battle. Also, Kendrick Lamar has a open head center definition at all within that center. So he's very open-minded. He's very fluid. He can have expansive and adaptable thoughts, and that shows through like his lyrics and his music. He has a defined throat center, which means he has a captivating voice. He is a good storyteller. People like to listen to him. People look to him as a leader and trust him and trust his voice. If you don't know, your throat center and human design is one of, they're all important centers, but to me, the throat center is one of the most important centers because your throat center is the center that all of your centers are trying to put the energy through, because your throat is responsible for expression, communication, manifestation, and like bringing things into fruition in the tangible realm. So it's huge. He has consistent energy flowing through his throat center. So he's just always on. His voice is always powerful, even if he doesn't necessarily recognize it within himself. He has a very strong impact on people through his voice, and he easily expresses himself through his voice. His throat center is defined through his, I'm actually not going to say that because I don't have that clarified right here, but I believe his emotional solar plexus center is defined. I can't use my phone, actually, whatever. He easily manifests through his emotions and his intuition. And I believe if you look at his chart, I'm gonna double check, his emotional solar plexus is defined, and so is his spleen center. So he's intuitive with what he expresses and manifests, that like activates and goes through his up to his throat center, and then he's also fueled from his emotions. So all this stuff that's happening between him and Drake, or that was like building up over the years between him and Drake, he was able to easily create, because your emotional solar plexus center is responsible for creation as well as emotional awareness. He's able to create emotionally, or emotionally create and express easily through his throat center, which is like super powerful for him. He has 2 out of the 11 gates in his throat center defined. And so the more gates that you have defined in your throat center, the more energy you have to consistently speak, the more natural it comes to you to speak, maybe the easier it is for you to like publicly speak. So outside looking in, he may seem kind of quiet maybe at first, but he'll probably open up, or when he speaks, he's heard regardless of how quiet he is initially. Drake, on the other hand, he has an undefined throat center. So, and he has an undefined emotional solar plexus center. So his throat center is undefined. He doesn't consistently have the energy to always speak, or maybe he doesn't always captivate his audience. Maybe he's not always a good storyteller. Not that he's not, but he doesn't naturally have the energy consistently in him. Like if you have a center defined, you can't turn that energy off. If it's undefined, you can't turn it on. It's only on, I guess, depending on your environment and who you're around and who has that center defined around you to give you that energy to help the energy within you move more fluidly. So Drake doesn't have a defined throat center. Kendrick Lamar does. Drake doesn't have a defined emotional solar plexus center. Kendrick Lamar does. And so maybe Drake truthfully is kind of unbothered. People who have undefined or open emotional solar plexus centers, when they're by themselves, they're typically pretty calm, because they weren't born with like the energy consistently within their emotions to just always like be 0 to 100. So they're pretty calm when it's just themselves, but when they get to be around other people, their emotions, that energy is triggered. They take in and amplify the energies around them. So if someone has a defined emotional solar plexus center, they're going to take that in and amplify it. Or maybe after a little bit, that's when things start to bother him, when he's around other people. So Kendrick has his emotional solar plexus defined, where he's fueled to express his creativity, his manifestations, and everything all the time consistently. And is huge because the will center is responsible for willpower and confidence, self-worth, the ability to like get things to say you're going to do something and get it done like really quickly and without any issues. That's your willpower. You know, you get things done. And not a lot of people have their will center defined. Actually, it's more rare to have a defined will center than it is to have an undefined will center. Um, so if you have a defined will center, you've got strong willpower, you've got consistently to follow through. Kanye West also has a defined will center, so if that makes any sense to you. And the will center fuels his spleen center, and the spleen fuels his throat center. And so it's like he's got willpower to intuitively speak. Kendrick basically can go on forever and ever and ever because he's a manifesting generator. He has an inexhaustible battery pack, especially since he's doing what he loves to do. So with a defined will center, he's got the consistent willpower. A defined throat, he's got that captivating, consistent voice, a powerful voice to be heard. He's got defined emotions. He's got consistent emotions, consistent creativity, and all of that consistently is flowing to his throat. So he's an amazing rapper. Though of course he's an amazing rapper. He has a defined sacral center, which is his battery pack. So like Kevin Gates said, I don't get tired. That's like that's like Kendrick Lamar's energy basically. He doesn't get tired as a manifesting generator. So everybody should basically just leave that man alone and let him do what he does, unless you are ready to go toe to toe energetically with this man. And if you're not a manifesting generator with a defined throat, will, and emotional solar plexus center, I don't know what the match is going to be for you. Like, that's all I have to say about that. So to learn your human design, sabeldanielle.com/getmychart, and you can download a free guide with journal prompts and affirmations to get you started